Are you considering applying for an SBA loan? Then you're in the right place. Today, we are going to do a deep, comprehensive guide into the process. We are going to be looking at the application process, the eligibility, the loan types, the requirements, the interest rates, and so much more things. So stay tuned while we look at your small business and how you can get financing for your operating needs. Be right back. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. The Next Level Life Hacks, where we take the next steps needed to grow towards our financial freedom and our success. Now, today we're going to be looking at a very interesting topic in terms of the small business financing. So if you have a small business, then you're in the right place today. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I appreciate the views, comments, and subscriptions as we grow towards this channel being much more successful. Now, we're going to be looking at defining exactly what SBA loans are. SBA stands for Small Business Administration, and these are loans that are offered by private institutions. But guess what is the good thing about these loans? They are guaranteed by the US Small Business Administration. This is a government guaranteed program. Therefore, you will find that there are certain benefits that you would not get otherwise in certain small business financing loans. These loans are designed to help small businesses secure financing and loans that small businesses might not be able to get through the traditional lending agencies. So it gives you a more of a opportunity to grow your business through these financing. You will also find that there are certain advantages of these loans where a small business is concerned, especially through the application process and the approval process. And we're going to look into all of that today to give you a better guidance. But let's first look at the different types of SBA loans. The first one that we're going to be looking at is known as the 7A loan. And what is the 7A loan program? The purpose of these is basically to generate business financing, including working capital for businesses. Now, these funds can be used for equipment purchases. It's basically larger ticket items that you would need to purchase to assist in the operation or the efficient operation of your business for the medium to long term. Now, the loan amounts that can be granted here are significant because you can be getting up to $5 million towards your purchases. Now, apart from the significant sums that you can be granted towards these loans, the terms of the loans are also extremely attractive. So, for example, for working capital, you can get anywhere up to 10 years for the terms. And if you are thinking of investing in real estate, then you can get up to 25 years for these terms. Pretty significant and pretty attractive, isn't it? No, you are not guaranteed of getting these terms through the traditional business loans that might be offered on the market, and that's why SBA loans are so attractive. Now, the interest rates for the 7A loan program can be variable or fixed. Me personally, I would recommend that you go for a more fixed loan rate because you are not sure where the economy will end up in the future. With an uncertain variable rate, then you cannot effectively plan for your repayment or your cash flow. The next big ticket loan item is known as the CDC or the 504, or some persons might say 504 loan programs. Now, the purpose of this as well is for those more significant investments that you'd want to do in for like fixed assets, real estate, buildings, and machinery, because these loans can range anywhere up to $5 million as well, just as we mentioned for the 7A loan program. Now, the structure of this is that typically involves a lender giving you 50% of the loan, and then the CDC, which is known as the Certified Development Company, will fork out 40% of the amount, and then you, the investor, will just have to find 10%. Now, this allows you to take on significant investment, especially in real estate. If you are thinking of building a development, warehousing, factories, then these significant outlays of up to $5 million can be financed through this type of loan. Now, the terms of these loans can be anywhere from 10 way up to 25 years in terms of a repayment time. So you do get adequate time to see the returns on your investment and have enough time to expand and stretch out your loan payments so that your cash flows are not heavily impacted by this debt financing. Now, the interest rates for this as well can either be variable, fixed, but it is primarily based on the treasury rates that exist. So that can be your guide in terms of what the interest rates will be for this type of loan. The next loan program that is available through the SBA loan system is the microloan program. And as the name suggests, it is more a medium or short term, just for your running expenses, capital that you need for your day-to-day expenses throughout your business. So the amount is going to be lower, and of course the terms are going to be lower. They give a maximum of $50,000 towards this sector, and you can get anywhere up to 6 years for the repayment of these loans. The interest rates as well are generally between 8 to 13% on these, still very comparable and very competitive when you look at what the other loan interest rates might be on the market traditionally. The fourth type of loan is known as the disaster loan, and as the name suggests, if you have gone through an economic crisis or you have gone through a natural disaster that has impacted your business, then this is what you would seek for your recovery. The purpose of these loans, as the name suggests therefore, is really to help businesses to recover from declared disasters. Remember, it has to be a declared disaster, not what you as the business owner interprets as a disaster. So the loan amounts here are not set, for example, as I mentioned before with the 5 and the 5.5 million. These are going to be depending on the nature and the extent of your damages, and they will make an assessment to determine what the outlay should be. Of course, it's also going to be depending on the estimated cost of recovery or the estimated cost of the repairs to whatever property has been damaged. The terms are also attractive here as well, because you can get anywhere up to 30 years for the repayment of these loans. In terms of interest rates, again, it's going to be lower than the market rate that exists, because of course it is determined by the SBA. Now, what are the benefits of the SBA loans? The first one, and you would have heard me hint towards them earlier, the first one is going to be the lower interest rates. Of course, when you look at the treasury rates and we look at the existing market rates, the SBA loans tend to be lower than those interest rates. So therefore, you are not under as much pressure as a small business to meet the financing of these debts. The second benefit is going to be the lower down payments that are expected. Again, because these loans are guaranteed by the US SBA, then the down payments are not going to be as high as the traditional financing for businesses. So therefore, your capital or your finances or your liquidity rather is not going to be tied up and going to be spent into the down payment on a project. You can then have this disposable income for your payroll or for other things that you want to invest in, or on your regular fixed expenses that will occur throughout your business throughout the months. The other benefit, which I mentioned before, is also the longer repayment or the terms of the loans. You heard me mention payment terms up to 30 years, which might not necessarily be as easily accessible in the traditional financing market for your small business. And of course, the longer repayment that you have for a loan, it does not tie up your liquidity or your cash flow again, and it also makes the repayment process more manageable and not so much of a strain on you. The other benefit that we look at is the easier qualification for these loans. What you will find is that the private institutions are not as strict in terms of the requirements and qualifications for these loans, maybe because there is a more ease and peace of mind where they're concerned because of the guarantee that the US SBA gives towards these loans. So they have a more peace of mind in terms of issuing and qualifying persons for these loans. It does not mean that it is a total easy process and that it's going to be an automatic approval. Yes, there are certain criteria that you will need to satisfy, and we're going to be looking at those shortly, but it just means that there will not be such a heavy underwriting process as the normal financing of small businesses. Now let's look at what the application process is like. We are going to be advising you that you need to prepare your documentation. Remember, as I said before, it's not going to be a walk in the park, that an automatic approval. So you still got to be business-like in your approach and professional in your application process if you want to ensure a higher probability of your approval. I therefore recommend that you gather your essential documents like your business finances, your tax returns. The resume of you, the CEO or owner of the business, is going to be critical because they want to see your background in terms of your credit worthiness as well. You're going to have to also prepare your credit report so that that can be reviewed, and you're going to need a detailed business plan. Because remember, although it is an easier process, they still want to know that your business is organized and how it is that you are planning to guarantee the profitability of your business. So therefore, you must present a business plan to show that you are organized. And not to worry here, because I know that some of you might be in existence, but you have not formalized certain processes or documents. Simply utilize artificial intelligence again by using ChatGPT. inserting the nature of your business in as much detail as possible and asking the AI tool to generate a business plan for you, and you'd be surprised at what it generates. Of course, you're going to tweak it to cater it and apply it to your business nature, but you're going to have a template document that is 90% completed. You are then going to select a lender, and you will approach this lending agency, find out if they have an SBA program, and you are going to be putting in your application. Of course, when you submit the application, it's going to take some time. Make sure you complete it with all the relevant information. Don't leave anything out or take it for granted. And ask someone else in your business or in your circle just to review it to make sure that it is accurately completed. After your loan is reviewed, if you are qualified and you're approved, then you will have their loan disbursed to you. Make sure you have a plan as well to immediately start utilizing this, because remember that you are going to have to start financing the debt, having your monthly payments. So you need to activate the purpose of this loan as quickly as possible. Now, what is the eligibility criteria for these SBA loans? One is going to be your business size, and it's going to be depending on your annual returns or your annual income, and it is also going to be depending on the number of employees that you have within your organization. Now, your nature of business is also going to be critical. If you are in, for example, high risk areas of investment or of, what's the right word? Speculation, that is highly speculative, then you might not be qualified or considered for these loans. Where real estate is concerned, if it is that you are in a more high risk industry, for example, Airbnb, then you might not be considered for these loans, because although there's going to be a shorter or easier underwriting process, they still want to make sure that you are reasonably secure in your business so that your repayments can be guaranteed. The business purpose as well must be sound, and that is where your business plan comes in, and the nature of your business is going to be critical, because again, the lenders want to see that you have a sound business plan, and the purpose for the loan is one that can guarantee a profit. If it is that they are not sure that your business will guarantee a profit or is not sustainable, then you might not be qualified for the loan. You also have to make sure that your business and you, the individual, have a certain level of credit worthiness. So therefore, your credit history, your credit score is again going to be in question here, and is going to be evaluated. Again, there is such a good video that I had created that I'm going to be placing right here that you can go back to and use it to increase your credit score and also to improve and maintain your credit worthiness. So I'm finding that this video is highly critical in most of the videos that I'm doing as a follow-up. Now, what are the common uses of the SBA loans? The first one is working capital, and this is critical for a business success. Another one is equipment purchases, because if you are not having the correct equipment for your business operations, then you're going to find that you're not as efficient and as effective in your operations as you should be, and time can be wasted. Real estate is another critical factor that these SBA loans are used for, especially because you're getting up to $5.5 million as a disbursement. Then several business owners use this to either repair or to do new construction of real estate. Another one is debt financing, because these rates and the terms are much more attractive. Then you'll find that person will take out an SBA loan to pay off other debts that might be at a higher interest rate or shorter term than the SBA loan. And the final thing that SBA loans are typically used for is to purchase inventory. Now, it is critical that, especially if you are in business operation and if you have demand for your product, you have to have the inventory so you can meet the demand. So SBA loans are critical for meeting the demand and making your business profitable. Now, in conclusion, my friends, the SBA loan program is an invaluable resource for small businesses, whether you're looking to start, to grow, or you're looking to recover from a setback that you had. You can utilize this in any of these areas. They offer favorable interest rate, favorable terms, easier access, and easier qualification process for these loans. And because, as I mentioned, that they are guaranteed, then you'll find the private institutions are much more understanding and much more favorable in granting these loans. Now, it is very critical that you understand the different types of loans that are available, and that you know the process and you know the criteria and the uses of these loans, so you can be better prepared and more favorable in terms of being qualified for these loans. Now, as usual, my friends, if you have found any of this information to be valuable, please like, comment, subscribe, share it with someone who you think this might benefit as we look to grow our own small businesses and grow towards our financial success. See you in the next video.